Now that the Xdefiant server test is finally over, I've had some time to reflect on the game and my time playing it. While I genuinely like the game and want to see it do well, I kind of had this feeling during the playtest that something was just missing from the game. I think we all know what it is, and later in the video I'm going to be sharing some things that I'd like to see Xdefiant add to the game to fix this problem, and towards the end of the video, I have a really cool idea that I hope someone over at Xdefiant sees. Before we go on, I'd love to hear your thoughts on Xdefiant in the comments below. If you're looking forward to the release, think the game has potential, or if you're bored and have already moved on. Now, I initially just chalked the feeling I was having of something missing from the game up to the fact that the game was essentially in a beta state, having all the weapons and attachments unlocked and no cosmetics or camos to grind for. And sure, there were things to unlock as you made some progress in the quote-unquote battle pass, so to speak, but knowing that there's not really any progression and that whatever progress you did make in the leveling system wasn't going to carry over to the full game definitely didn't help. I was having a conversation with my brother who, like myself, is a huge fan of Black Ops 4, and this game being the closest we've seen to that type of gameplay since then, I was curious what his thoughts were on Xdefiant. He made an extremely valid point and said the game overall was decent, but that it was missing a very crucial element that Black Ops 4 or Call of Duty in general has that keeps him hooked and looking forward to each game. And just to be clear, this video isn't my thoughts on the game as a whole, rather just one critical piece the game is missing. If you want to check out my other video to get my thoughts on the server test weekend and the state of the game as a whole, that video will be linked down in the description below. The gameplay loop and core mechanics of Xdefiant are incredibly solid, or at least provide that type of gameplay that I appreciate. A return to that classic late 2000s arcade style first-person shooter that Call of Duty used to do so well. So in theory, I should be having the most fun I've had in a long time, right? Well, like I said, I just felt like something was missing, and my brother said, yeah, the game is fine, but I just have nothing to play for and no reason to really care. I don't get rewarded for playing well other than maybe the win and getting to say I had a good kill-death ratio. As soon as he said it, I realized that he's 100% right. One of the biggest factors that gives Call of Duty multiplayer such a high replay value is always chasing your streaks. Not so much anymore in Modern Warfare 3, but that's a topic for another video. This might be the core issue that Xdefiant needs to solve to keep players post-launch. We've seen so many games launch to massive hype and a pretty big player base, then just fall off because they can't keep players interested. Core gameplay is a great foundation, but it can only take the game so far. In today's day and age where cheap dopamine is everywhere, the feeling of finally popping off and earning your highest kill streak, or just having some mid-level streaks that you constantly earn, really does make you feel like you're playing for something. With each kill you get, you start to feel that pressure build trying to stay alive long enough to earn your next streak. It paces the game well and gives you something you're always working towards. Hitting those mid to high level streaks also gives you that feeling of accomplishment, especially when you earn those higher streaks. When you call in your chopper gunner, your brain gets that nice little hit of dopamine, especially if you start to see the kill feed full of enemy players being taken out by your streak. Now, in Xdefiant's defense, the full launch of the game will at least have weapon levels, character levels, and hopefully good camos to grind, so there's some sense of progression. And Mark Rubin has previously said on Twitter that they have some sort of prestige or leveling system coming to the game post-launch. Those things are great, but that still doesn't replace the part of the gameplay loop that earning some type of reward for a kill streak does. In the early days of Call of Duty, kill streaks are one of the main features that separate it from other first-person shooter games. Now, obviously Xdefiant doesn't want to completely rip off kill streaks from Call of Duty, but I had a few ideas on how to give players that same feeling of working towards something during a match. Before we jump into that, if you're enjoying the video, do me a favor and drop a like on it to support the channel, and if you enjoy all types of first-person shooter content, consider dropping a sub. The first idea on my list, I'd love to see something like reactive camos added to the game. Seeing your weapon camo evolve as you build up that kill streak definitely adds some level of reward. Maybe even having something like evolving camos that once you hit a kill streak, you have the option to keep that as your camo permanently. Each gun or each camo could have multiple levels, giving you a different variation for something like a 10, 20, or 30 kill streak. Obviously, this doesn't completely replace the idea of kill streak rewards, but it certainly gives you something to play for, and if you do end up going on a massive streak, you have something to show off in-game, which is always a nice touch, especially when compared to a game like Call of Duty where the only thing to show off is how much money is spent in the game. I'd also love to see something like exclusive rewards for high streaks, or maybe cosmetics or trophies, something that players could display in the pre-game or post-game screen to show off their achievements. Similar to the way Apex Legends gives players the option to customize a player banner with badges. If you're not familiar with Apex Legends, players have a banner they can customize and equip 3 badges that display things like highest damage in game, highest rank hit during a ranked season, or just something as simple as completing an event or battle pass. Things like this may seem small, but just having layers of small things for players to earn is a really good way to organically keep everyone playing the game and feeling like they're getting something out of it. Apparently, Call of Duty no longer feels the need to create or give players any type of reward for actually playing the game because their aggressive matchmaking system artificially keeps players hooked. Another idea that I came up with is to have some sort of additional challenge that if completed, you earn some type of badge or cosmetic. For example, when a player is on, let's say, a 10 kill streak, they become marked on the map for the enemy team. If that player manages to make it to a 20 kill streak while being marked, they unlock that badge or cosmetic. Now, the last idea I came up with is some sort of interactable on the map that only becomes accessible once you reach a certain streak. Now, I haven't fully fleshed out this idea, so go easy on me in the comments section, but here's a rough example. Let's say you manage to go on an insane streak. Let's just say it's 25 kills. An interactive button becomes available to you and is pinged or marked somewhere on the map. You go to that area, interact with it, and something wild happens, like disco balls dropping and confetti cannons going off, or something even crazier like the Nuketown Easter egg from Black Ops Cold War, where the entire map turns into this retro wave insane visual effect. I like the idea of something cool that changes the map, letting everyone know you hit the streak, but it also doesn't exactly copy Call of Duty or end the game the way a nuke does. What makes this idea even cooler is that each map could have its own event that fits with the theme of the map, and it gets even better.
But wait, there's more.
They could even add some sort of trophy or award for doing it, and you get a unique reward for completing each one on every map, with some sort of menu that tracks each map, similar to how back in Halo you could collect all of the skulls and track your progress. Then once you complete all of the streak challenges on every map, there's one mega reward at the end. It would have to be something big like a skin for all your operators or all the factions in Xdefiant, a weapon camo, and an end screen emote or something like that. Maybe I'm off my rocker here and literally nobody cares about having something like this in the game. Whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear any ideas you have in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and you want to watch another one like it, click here.